Today, we're doing a foot review on Proprio from Ossur. Proprio is a microprocessor foot on Ossur's ProFlex carbon foot plate. Microprocessor feet really have a lot of different pros and cons to them, and it really just comes down to what does the end user want and what are they looking to get out of their everyday experience. But we're going to break down some of those features and some of those pros, probably some of those cons as well. I don't really have a ton of experience on microprocessor feet, definitely not as much as I have on regular carbon or fiberglass feet, as well as microprocessor knees. I've walked a few other microprocessor feet, but this is the first time that I've really spent a good amount of time on one. So it was a fun experience to try, and I definitely have a little bit better insight after going through a little bit of a trial on it. Proprio has a 7/16 inch build height and weighs 3.3 pounds. This is with the foot shell on as well, and I demoed my Proprio with my Terra foot shell, so it is nice that I could just swap my Terra foot shell right onto that. Proprio is IP67 water rated, which means it's fully waterproof. You can submerge it. Again, I'm not gonna do that, but you can submerge it. It's rated to do that, and you can do all the things in water that you would do with a regular carbon foot. The battery life lasts about 2 days, and the code is L5973. They also, in the newest version of Proprio, have a split toe option, so that means you can wear it with sandals, your flip-flops, those types of things, which is again just another nice thing that is added to the Proprio line. Some of the major advantages to microprocessor feet and Proprio, similar to hydraulic feet, are that you get dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. What is really nice about Proprio is that you get active dorsiflexion, which means as I'm stepping over things or when my foot is off the ground, it is actively lifting my toes up so that I'm getting good toe clearance, whether I'm going upstairs, stepping over a curb, things like that. It just gives you that little bit more natural extra toe clearance, which really is how our able-bodied feet work. And so it is a much more comfortable way to go around ambulating over those obstacles. Proprio also has an auto adaptation. So when you're going up inclines, down inclines, things like that, it is automatically adjusting the angle of the ankle so that the foot is landing level with that incline and giving you a very comfortable platform to ascend or descend or whatever that is. So with your active dorsiflexion and plantar flexion, Proprio gives you 33 total degrees range of motion, which is really a ton of movement at your ankle. Proprio also has up to 2 inches of heel height adjustability, which is another big benefit of microprocessor feet and Proprio in general, is that you can change your shoes without really having to change your alignment. So again, this has an auto adjust that we get into here a little bit, but you just change your shoes and then push the button on the front twice, and then within 2 steps, Proprio auto adjusts to that heel height of your shoe, which if you're coming off of like a carbon foot and you have it aligned to a certain shoe with your prosthesis, and then you go home and you change your shoes, now your foot isn't going to walk the same way. You have to really tweak that alignment every time you change your shoes, unless you're just putting on, like I wear Vans all the time because that's one flat shoe to another flat shoe. But in this video, I go from my Vans to my On Clouds, which is going from a flat heel to a very thick heel. And so I really would need to align my foot differently if I was on a regular carbon spring foot. So now we're just jumping over onto some level ground walking, some changing terrains. And I feel like watching these videos back, you really can't see the foot move quite as much as maybe some of the other carbon feet I've been reviewing. But when you really break it down and look at both feet, when you look at my able-bodied foot compared to my prosthetic foot, it does seem like my foot flat is a little bit more natural even. Everything just looks a little bit more symmetric and comfortable, and so you maybe see less of that movement, but again, that's because of that auto adaptation that is just changing the ankle subtly for me as I get that active dorsiflexion on my swing phase and things like that. So it is a very comfortable, more natural movement through that gait. Now we're going to change shoes real quick. If you've never seen an amputee change shoes, it takes a while, so I sped it up here. Quick edit point, somewhere in the middle of me going from my time-lapse shot to my regular shot, I missed the shot where I am actually making the adjustment on the foot. So rookie mistake, still learning new things every day. But the way that you get the foot to auto adjust without having to pull out the app is by just holding the foot in the air. So you lift your foot off the ground and then double click the front button twice. And then as you start walking, it will start to adjust to your gait. And as you can see through some of these, I'm going from a flat shoe, my Vans, to these On Clouds. and it takes me some time to adjust to it a little bit more. But I'm not changing any alignment or doing anything with my set alignment throughout that. That's just, again, double clicking by holding the foot in the air and double clicking that front button on the front of the foot. Going upstairs step over step, again, getting that active dorsiflexion all the time. You never really scuff the toe on the stair. It is, with these shoes, it's a little bit like wobbly for me. I feel like I would like to be a little bit more on the toe. When you're just standing on the leg, or when I'm yielding it coming down these stairs, the ankle isn't actually moving. It's holding me at a position. But between the Navi Tech and the Proprio ankle, I am able to keep my whole foot on the stair and really ride the hydraulics of the knee, and the foot supports me well enough, comfortable descending those stairs. And then just adapting on different terrains again, going over this little curb in my grandma's backyard, feeling comfortable. Thanks for letting me go there, Graham. That was a nice little morning over there. But here you can just see, again, the foot is adapting to me and changing to that terrain. I stay on the knee and yield it like I was going downhill, trying to be a little bit extreme there, but the foot is still supporting me all the way through. It's not like that range of motion then drops you at a certain point. The foot is resisting you and giving you good resistance so you can sink into it and feel comfortable. Then here squatting again, I'm not getting that like active, like my heel isn't on the ground, but you see I do have that flexion, and I'm able to support myself through both feet and weight my feet evenly in this squat, which is nice. And then we're just going to change back to the Vans real quick again, just to see how easy is it to really get that thing to switch and adapt. And honestly, the Vans are harder to get on, but here there was one. Again, I missed the correlating shot showing that you just hold it in the air and double click that. Then you also have the app that you can set up different shoe heel heights for. So if you have a common couple pair of shoes that you're wearing every week, you can go into the app and have those set up so that you can just click on, oh, I'm wearing my Vans today, I'm wearing my On Clouds today, and then it auto adjusts there too. So you have a couple different options for how to get the heel height correct. And then here's just a little bit of that active adaptation of the foot just adjusting to the terrain of the hill. So you don't see like major plantar flexion here because the foot is already adjusted to that ankle. And so it just more so gives me a comfortable base to work from and yield my knee from, rather than having to get my ankle, the foot flat, it's already there. So that's Proprio. Like I said at the beginning, I really haven't had a lot of time on microprocessor feet. Again, I've walked them in labs a little bit, but really not out in the real world. And so it was fun to get to experience this, especially experiencing it with Navi and just kind of seeing how Ossur's technology works together. It really did function together pretty well. Some of the big pros of this foot for me personally are that active dorsiflexion that really does make such a difference. And relaxed sitting is nice as well if that's something that you really are like frustrated with, which is common. I used to get frustrated with how my foot sits all the time, and kind of gotten used to it over time and adjust in different ways. But it's nice to just see your foot sit flat and be comfortable in that way. The active dorsiflexion is proven to reduce falls and stumbles though. I mean, working on other projects that have dorsiflexion, everything, you know, when you get dorsiflexion, that definitely helps. That active dorsiflexion, stepping even over rugs and things like that, really makes a big difference. So I really do like that feature a lot. Some of the cons for a microprocessor foot, Proprio specifically, and for an above knee amputee specifically, are that it is just a little bit heavier. And with some of the other feet that are coming out now, even like Ossur's Terrafoot, that moves so much, it's really about weighing like what's most important to me. Is it getting some of that active dorsiflexion and auto adjustment on hills and easy to change my shoes? Or is it more beneficial for me to have my weight down a little bit, feel a little bit more dynamic, I guess, in some ways? It really does just come down to what is most important to you. I think that this foot really is a great microprocessor foot, especially for the below knee population that, you know, maybe weight really isn't quite as big of an issue for them as it is for an above knee. And so this really is so nice because, again, I don't have to pull out my phone to change anything. I really like the auto adaptation to change shoes, which is a big benefit of microprocessor feet. When I've fit them in my clinical background, a lot of people are getting them because they're changing their shoes a couple times a day or a couple times a week, and it's a pain for them to have to worry about their alignment. And so they get them, but then they have to, you know, you can have specific shoes set up in the Ossur Logic app, But the nice thing again about Proprio that I like, and Ossur as a whole, is kind of like, let's try to not get the phone out and just make things easy to change from the device so that it can be intuitive and quick. If you would like more information on Proprio, their website is linked in the description. If you have a question on like, man, is Proprio right for me, or do I want to try something else, or what's out there? Put them in the comments. I'd love to get back to you and help you figure out what is the exact right foot for you and the things that you want to do. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Thank you.